Hi, I'm Wiley Baker. Join me for The Score, up next on AACPS TV and the Anne Arundel County Public Schools YouTube channel. Welcome to The Score. I'm your host, Wiley Baker. As a reminder, our award-winning Athletes in Action show focuses on a specific team in Anne Arundel County Public Schools, where our show today, The Score, focuses on an integral individual in Anne Arundel County Public Schools athletics. And we certainly have that person today. I am so delighted to welcome to The Score our Anne Arundel County Public Schools Athletic Liaison, Marianne Shultz. Marianne, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Well, we have been friends for a long, long time.
Yes, we
There's
have.
some things I know about you and some things I don't, and I know that our viewers would love to hear more about you. So let's start from the very beginning. Tell us from a youngster about Marianne Shultz.
Oh, I am a daughter of a United States Air Force military man who retired after 30 years. So I did a lot of traveling as a youngster. Ended up at Meade High School as a 9th, 10th, and 11th, and 12th grader. Played sports there. And then returned back after college to begin teaching career.
Tell us a little bit about the sports you played at Meade.
Oh, at Meade I played field hockey, basketball, and softball.
Wow. And which one did you like the best?
Softball's my favorite.
Softball. And what position?
Catcher and shortstop.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about the aspect of playing catcher. A lot of people just see that as somebody receiving the leader, the pitcher, but really the catcher is the leader of the entire team, especially on defense.
Yeah, just, taking your team and moving them where you see fit, and them having confidence in you to be able to do that. Calling the right pitches, rise ball, change up, depending on what the batter is used to doing or anticipated to do. So yeah, there's a lot of leadership that goes involved there.
Well, let's go backwards. In basketball, what position?
I was the 6th person right next to the coach.
One of the most important players on the team, obviously.
Went in when she needed me.
And field hockey, one of the more unique sports. My mom, Dee Baker, who actually was a teacher with Anne Arundel County Public Schools, always taught me about field hockey, and little did I know not too long ago that you can only use the flat part of the stick. You cannot use the round part. How difficult is that to flip the stick around and kind of hit a backhand shot with the flat side of the stick?
Initially, very. But once, you start practicing and working on that control like any other sport, you pick it up and it's not as difficult as it appears to be.
Well, let's move on. Again, I'm here with Marianne Shultz, AACPS Athletic Liaison, which means she does just about everything for our athletic department. Tell us a little bit about moving forward. How did you get involved in coaching and teaching with Anne Arundel County Public Schools?
Well, since as long as I can remember, I wanted to teach. So there was no-brainer when I was going to college. I was going to college to be a teacher. And I returned back to Anne Arundel County, and I started my first year at Magothy River Middle School, and eventually moved up and ended my career at North County High School.
Very good. Where did you go to college?
Westchester University.
Oh, very good. In Pennsylvania, yes.
Yes.
So tell us, moving forward, started at North County. Where did your career go from there?
I start as far as athletics?
As far as athletics with North County High School, and what did you start coaching, and where did that take you?
Well, when I initially got into teaching, I started coaching. I was at Meade for field hockey my very first year, so way, way back at the very beginning. And then I went to Andover and was soccer, basketball, and softball there. And then I got a job at Brooklyn Park where I continued with soccer, and I did indoor and outdoor track. And then I went to Arundel for a year and did soccer. And then I ended up at Northeast where I did soccer, boys and girls, and I also did softball there as well. And then I finally came to North County where I was soccer coach for a little bit. I was the athletic director for a little bit, and then I was involved with the Unified Sports Program. So I did Unified Tennis, bowling, and bocce. Which we will get to in just a few moments. Talk to me, and we love the North County Knights, of course. We know that's now the combination of the Andover Archers
and the Brooklyn Park Bees. How much do you miss Andover High School and Brooklyn Park High School? Those were two very good high schools in general, but especially in athletics.
They were. They each had their own identity, and they were really good. There were some programs at Andover, lacrosse, girls basketball. They had some really, really good programs, as well as Brooklyn Park with their basketball program. Art St. Martin did a fabulous job there. They had a baseball state championship, softball state championship. So they both were really good in their own identity.
Well, as we say that, again, I'm here with Marianne Shultz, Anne Arundel County Public Schools Athletic Liaison. And as you mentioned, tennis, I know Andover, boy, being an Old Mill grad playing against Andover,
Yes.
It was always a tough tennis match. And now as we talk to you about what you are presently leading with our unified sports, I know that's near and dear to your heart.
It is.
Unified tennis comes up in the fall, unified bowling in the winter, unified bocce in the spring. Let's talk about unified tennis. How much fun is that seeing not only the athletes and the partners get together to form really, really good and fun tennis teams?
Oh, absolutely. You have a partner and an athlete that pair up together, and they literally become best friends in front of your eyes. And the excitement that one shows the other is amazing, and it just builds a lot of team camaraderie and excitement and competition, and just a fun atmosphere to be around.
And not only is the competition fun, but just being out there, like you said, the camaraderie is fun. Can you explain to everyone the difference between the athlete and the partner and how they connect?
So in unified sports, you have an athlete that is a student with a disability, which would be an IEP or a 504. And then you have a partner without a disability, and together they pair together. And one will help the other learn the skills, learn the game, learn about being part of a team, and improve on their skill level.
And it's so much fun to see how much these players, the athletes and the partners can not only compete, but just the fun. And the fun really is what everybody talks about when I speak to athletes and partners about, and even coaches, about unified sports. We've had a lot of success in Anne Arundel County Public Schools.
We have been very blessed.
But the fun is always first.
Absolutely. In any sport and any activity that you're engaged in. And that's part of what the unified sports is all about, is getting students engaged, including them so that they can be a part of a high school program and know the excitement and know the fun and know the thrilling experiences of being involved in some type of group activity and representing your school and your community.
Let's move on to unified bowling. Oh my goodness. I know Eric Cloyd and I have had so much fun with our Athletes in Action show, videoing unified bowling. That is off the charts. We have had some great athletes and great partners in unified bowling. And the fun part about it is they just keep getting better and better, which makes the fun escalate.
It does, and we've been really blessed with some bowlers. A lot of our student athletes bowl outside of school as well as with our school program. And it's thrilling to watch. We've had some 300 perfect games in the past. So
I was going to say, we have had some perfect games by our partners, but our athletes have been unbelievable. I've been blessed that you've asked me to DJ and public address announce, and I just couldn't get up and down the lanes enough. The excitement is over the top. Talk about the excitement from beginning to end. I mean, it never gets lower. It kind of stays at that high level all the time.
And you've got teams that are doing cheers for one strike, two strike, turkeys, and you hear that, and you've got cheerleaders that are coming and supporting the teams, so they're starting cheers, and you've got the high fives, and people are just coming together whenever there is a good shot, an improved game, your personal best score. They're just happy and excited and encouraging to each other, and that's what makes it such a great environment.
Let's move on to the spring. We have unified bocce, which I think is really unique because the partners, if anybody wants to get started in unified sports with Anne Arundel County Public Schools, bocce might be the one, because everybody knows about tennis. Everybody knows about bowling, but bocce is kind of on its own. And I've talked to partners that have gotten together with the athletes with bocce who have said this sport is out of this world. Talk a little bit about how Unified Bocce has really burst onto the scene for AACPS.
It has. It's kind of like Italian bowling. So it's in a rectangle type of court, and you're rolling a small ball, trying to get closer to a little panini, they call it. And the strategy is very similar if you think about banking shots in pool, things like that. So there's a lot of strategy involved, thought process, so that you can work with your partner about saying, what would be a better angle? What is this? Is this a good shot? What should I do? And so it does bring a lot of communication between the partner and the athlete. So as far as building that relationship, it really does help.
And I think one thing special about bocce that everybody has realized is that, and again, hats off to Clayton Culp, our coordinator of athletics of Anne Arundel County Public Schools, for all these turf fields. It makes it a level playing field for everybody in regards to having the beautiful turf at all of our schools.
Absolutely, and they've also provided us with the courts, the PVC piping for the courts. So Clayton has gone above and beyond, as he always does, for all our sports programs, but making sure that we do have the right facilities, the right equipment to do and perform our best.
Talk a little bit about what might be your favorite of the three. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Oh.
Bocce is so much fun. Tennis, obviously, I know is near and dear to your heart, but you love bowling as well. What would you say if you had to pick your favorite by a slight margin?
By a very slight margin would be bowling. I bowled when I was younger, and that's one of those things, being a military child, you go from base to base. Everybody had a bowling alley on base. So that was a place where you can meet and greet and make new friends very quickly. And so we were definitely a part of a bowling league as I grew up. So that's kind of one of those things in the back of my pocket that I really enjoy doing.
I do not want to elude this, so thank you so much for being a military family, and thank your family for your service. We really appreciate that. And of course, military, here we are down in Annapolis, Maryland.
Of course, yes.
Well, as we wrap up, Eric and I went upstairs. We're working on our 100th show for Athletes in Action, and lo and behold, we find out there are over 1,000 student athletes participating in a combination of unified tennis, unified bowling, and unified bocce. Marianne, you have done a tremendous job, and your team has done a tremendous job. How does that make you feel when you hear that number? 1,000 plus student athletes.
It is awesome. And I know that sports was something for me to feel belonging to a group, to a community, and to see a number of these kids that get that same opportunity. And the fact that it's grown from where it started 11, 12 years ago to where it is now, I mean, we just are making differences in lives as they are making a difference in our lives as well. So it's awesome.
And as we wrap up, you've seen so much success in unified sports for Anne Arundel County Public Schools, maybe the biggest in the nation. Where would you like to see this continue to go?
Well, I definitely would like to continue to even increase the numbers from what we have, but also to increase the sports offerings. Right now we have 3, but there are so many other sports that we could include. And as our numbers grow, that means there is an interest. So if we can get an interest in some other sports as well, I think that would be very beneficial.
And with Marianne Shultz in charge, we know that that can definitely happen. She gets a lot of assistance from her staff, including Bruce Lawton, Brian Lehman, and many others. Marianne Shultz, thank you so much. You're such a dear friend to me, but we thank you so much for all you've done for Anne Arundel County Public Schools athletics. Thanks for joining me on The Score today.
Thank you so much, Wiley. This has been a great experience. I appreciate it.
And we thank you for watching today. I'm your host, Wiley Baker. In honor and memory of my mom, Dee Baker, I'll talk to you on the court, on the field, or on the air, and with another edition of The Score, right here on Anne Arundel County Public Schools Television and the Anne Arundel County Public Schools YouTube channel.